If you live in, are moving to, or are planning to visit Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, and you want to know some of the best places to eat while you're here, then stick around because that is exactly what we are talking about today. Not only am I going to share with you the names of the restaurants, but I'm also going to share with you a couple tips and tricks for how you can actually save some money at a few of these places while you're at it. So be sure to watch until the end if you want to go a little bit easier on your wallet. I'm including my top 10 favorites. It's a mix of all kinds of different places, from your fast casual order at the counter restaurants to your more finer dining celebratory type of places and everything in between. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a realtor here in the Charleston, South Carolina area, and my team and I love helping people every single day, just like you, with their buying and selling needs. So if we can be of service to you as well, please reach out. All of our contact information is pinned below, and we look forward to hearing from you. Today, I am mixing things up a bit and coming at you with some non-real estate related content. I am a foodie at heart. My parents owned restaurants when I was growing up, and I really feel like I grew up in the restaurant industry. I started working in restaurants when I was only 14 years old. All of my friends would be at the movies or at the mall on a Friday night, and I was bussing tables or greeting people at the door of the restaurant. So I truly feel like the restaurant industry is in my blood, and my family and I, of course, love going out to eat and celebrating all of the wonderful culinary experiences that Mount Pleasant and Charleston have to offer. Now, it was super hard to narrow this list down. When I first started brain dumping, I had over 20 places, and I really just wanted to keep it simple with a top 10. So just know that this is not an extensive list. There are many other great restaurants in Mount Pleasant. So if you like this video and maybe you want to see more content like this, whether it's 10 more restaurants in Mount Pleasant or the best restaurants downtown or in other places of Charleston, let me know. Leave a comment below and tell me that you enjoyed the video so that I know and can make more content like this. Now, one other super quick note before we get started is that I have been gluten-free for over 13 years now. So if you're gluten-free too, then this list is going to be super helpful for you. But if you're not, then don't worry about it, because I am always dining out with other people who are gluten eaters. So this list is going to be friendly for both the gluten and the non-gluten people in your life. Now, this list is in no particular order, but kicking it off here at number 1, we have Tierra Al Mar. This is a Latin American restaurant. They have a smaller menu, but everything is executed beautifully. I absolutely love their margaritas. They are kind of strong, so watch out for that. They do have tacos, which are good, but I personally love their appetizers and the items at the top of their menu, like their fresh guacamole, queso with chorizo and mushrooms, sauteed calamari, patatas bravas, and their tuna aguachile. They also have some great desserts like churros and Mexican pudding. Tierra Al Mar is located in the Showmore Shopping Center off of 17 in South Mount Pleasant. It's really a hidden gem. It's in a strip center, and they don't have a ton of seating, so make sure that you get there early. They have both indoor and outdoor. We've also brought the dogs there before, so if you're looking for a dog-friendly patio, this is one of them. Tierra Al Mar is owned and operated by the Owens Dining Group, and in my opinion, they have some of the best restaurants in Mount Pleasant. They also own Wood and Grain, which is right next door to Tierra Al Mar, as well as Langdon's, which is in the same shopping center. Wood and Grain is pizza and raw bar. Langdon's is very upscale. It's a steakhouse and perfect for those special occasions. And they also own Opal, which is in the Seaside Farm Shopping Center off of the Isle of Palms connector, which is kind of this Mediterranean California fusion, but also have plenty of steak options, and it's delicious as well. So you cannot go wrong with any of those options. And I know I'm kind of cheating by telling you that because I just named off 4 restaurants already, but that's my way to kind of sneak in a few extras here. Number 2 is Vicious Biscuit. If you're looking for a casual Southern breakfast place, then this one will hit the nail on the head. You'll order at the counter with all kinds of over-the-top biscuit concoctions like traditional biscuits and gravy, as well as fried chicken sandwiches, fried green tomato biscuit sandwiches, and so much more. They also have great gluten-free biscuits, so as I mentioned before, that's a big plus in my book. They have fresh squeezed orange juice, cocktails like Bloody Marys, and really great espresso as well. And to top it off, they have a butter bar and jam bar. So if you were looking for a variety of toppings for your biscuit and you wanted to try 4 to 5 different flavors of butter and jam, then Vicious Biscuit is your place. The portions are huge, so you will likely have leftovers or may even want to split an entree. It stays really busy and the line is often very long, but don't get too discouraged. It usually moves pretty quickly. The staff is also very friendly and they work really hard to keep people moving quickly. Vicious Biscuit is off of Coleman Boulevard, not too far past the Ravenel Bridge. They also have another location in Somerville and Nexon Square. Number 3 is Grace and Grit. This is the perfect elevated version of a southern seafood restaurant. They have a ton of fresh fish and oysters and of course, grits. They've been voted the best grits in Charleston, and under their appetizer selection, you can even get a grit flight where you get a sample of 4 different types of grits. They have tons of fun flavors that will surprise you, like pimento cheese, Brussels pesto, both of those are 2 of my favorites, as well as brie, truffle and chive, bourbon maple bacon, and some sweeter versions like coconut cream, blueberry, and carrot cake. You may be thinking that sounds super weird, and I wasn't too sure about some of the sweeter flavors either, but as soon as I tasted them, I was pleasantly surprised and really enjoyed it. Now, some people coming from other parts of the country tell me that they don't like grits, and I say that's because you've never had authentic good grits before. In the South, we know that great grits require lots of cream and butter and often cheese. So what's not to like about that? Usually when people are willing to give grits a shot, they end up coming back to me and saying, you were right, I really enjoyed it, I couldn't believe it, but they're delicious. So if that's you, go ahead and try grits while you're in Charleston. There are so many good places to get grits, but Grace and Grit is certainly up there. Right next to Grace and Grit, they have the Grit Counter. So it's part of the same owners, it's the same building, but the Grit Counter is only open during the day for lunch. So if you're looking for a great lunch spot, I love the Grit Counter. They have build your own bowls or predetermined types of grit bowls that are all excellent. They also have non-grit items like fried oyster sandwich and burgers. So don't worry, no matter what your palate, your belly is going to be happy when you leave the Grit Counter. Grace and Grit and the Grit Counter are also in South Mount Pleasant, right over the Ravenel Bridge near Waterfront Park. And the Grit Counter has a second location in North Charleston near the Coliseum Convention Center and Performing Arts Center. Here's an insider tip. If you can find the gift cards at Costco, definitely buy them. Now, they don't always have them, but they have had them in the past for Grace and Grit. And it is $100 worth of gift cards, but you only pay $80. So you're actually already instantly saving 20% just by buying the gift cards in advance and then going to dinner. Number 4 is Tavern and Table. I felt like I had to include one restaurant at Shem Creek because it is such a popular hotspot and people out of town are always asking me where they should dine if they're going to Shem Creek. And my personal favorite restaurant there is Tavern and Table. I think it has the best overall ambiance as well as the most delicious food out of all of the options. They also have a really nice bar and some outdoor seating. I've been here for lunch, for dinner, for brunch, and it's always reliably good. They have some gluten-free options as well, like some crackers for their dips on the appetizer menu. And even though it's going to be busy pretty much any time that you go to Shem Creek, I do think it's worth it. And if you go during the day, you can take a walk down the boardwalk at Shem Creek Park. And I absolutely love walking out on the water there. I often see dolphins and it's just really fun to people watch. There's kayakers, there's people on boats going by, there's all kinds of birds. So it's just a really pretty place if you want to take a nice walk and grab some food. Number 5 is Coastal Crust. They're known for their wood-fired pizzas. They also have great gluten-free pizza as well as some really good salads. I love their arugula salad. And they even have this cute retro ice cream truck. It's all outdoors, so keep that in mind depending on the weather. They do have a few seats that are covered. A lot of them aren't. But if you have kids, it's perfect. They have a playground right there. Sometimes they have live music. So it's just a really casual spot that you can go. The kids can run around and scream, and you're going to get a really good meal while you're at it. It does get busy, so beware. It can get a little bit slow at times. If it's too long of a wait for you, you could try Orlando's or Iggy's Pizza. They're both nearby and are some really awesome pizza places as well. Do you see how I managed to stick in 2 extra places on the list? Coastal Crust is right off of Coleman Boulevard near the Old Village and right next to Vintage Cafe. There's also a Coastal Crust location on James Island. Number 6 is Burtons. It's the only big chain on the list. I wanted to include it because I feel like it's an overall crowd pleaser. Whether you have picky eaters, whether you're just looking for a convenient location that's in the central part of Mount Pleasant, because Burtons is in the town center, so whether you live in South or North Mount Pleasant or coming back home from the Isle of Palms after a beach day, Burtons is super convenient. And being gluten-free, they have an incredible selection of gluten-free items as well. I don't know anywhere else where I can find gluten-free calamari or a gluten-free fried fish sandwich. So I personally really appreciate that, as well as many other gluten-free people I know. But even if you're not gluten-free, my whole family loves it and goes there often because they are just very consistent with the food and the service. They have a great rewards program as well, so be sure to join it. The points add up quickly, and a lot of times when we go in there and we put in our points, they'll say, oh, you have a $15 off gift card, or different things that just seem to pop up, and it's nice to save you some money. Around the holidays, they also do a big gift card sale as well. This last year, every time you bought $100, you would get 20. So I'm not going to tell you how many gift cards my entire family bought between all of us because it would be very embarrassing, but let's just say we're set for the year. Burtons is all American. They have burgers, they have steaks, they have pasta, they have healthy options. So check it out next time you're at the town center. Number 7 is Basil. I think Basil just has really great, more refined Thai. Once again, I love the ambiance. They have a cool bar upstairs. They have a great cocktail list, a really awesome happy hour. We love pretty much everything on the menu. Some of the favorites are the curries, the duck, the pad Thai, and I love the soup. If you dine in, the soups will come in these Thai hot pots. It's those metal serving dishes that are meant to be shared, and there's a candle or some kind of warmer underneath them. So the presentation is just amazing, and they are so flavorful. You really can't go wrong. This location is in Seaside Farms, just off of the Isle of Palms connector. There is a second location in Park Circle in North Charleston as well. Number 8 is Nico. This is right at Shem Creek as well, but not actually on the water. It's a French restaurant with a raw bar. They've won the Best of Mount Pleasant awards in multiple categories over the years, including Best Raw Bar, Best French Restaurant, Best Seafood Restaurant, Best Overall Restaurant in Mount Pleasant, Best Chef, Best of Charleston. Are you getting the picture? People love Nico. It's a really great date night spot. All of the food is super fresh. I'd highly recommend the octopus and the baked oysters. I'm personally not really a raw oysters fan, but if you are, they have a huge selection. They also have a sister restaurant downtown called Bistronomy by Nico, which is also highly regarded. So if you're downtown, you may want to check it out. Number 9 is Spice Palette. There is not a ton of Indian food in the Charleston area. There is a handful, and Spice Palette in Mount Pleasant does not disappoint. They have an enormous menu, and everything I've ever tried there has been delicious. Overall, it is very gluten-free friendly, very vegetarian and vegan friendly, as well as dairy-free friendly. Even being gluten-free, they had some fried options that were super tasty. And while I can't eat naan, I hear that their naan is to die for. One of my friends used to live in India, and we went together, and she said that the food is super authentic, so I believe her. If you're craving some great Indian food, or if you want to try something different, then definitely put Spice Palette on your list. Spice Palette is located in a strip mall right where Chuck Dolly Boulevard and Coleman Boulevard intersect, just a couple of minutes away from Sullivan's Island. Now, rounding out our list at number 10 is Swig and Swine. If you love barbecue, then this roadside joint is for you. I couldn't have a top 10 without barbecue, since barbecue is a big deal in the South. Now, vegetarians beware. They themselves admit that they've been horrifying vegetarians since 2013. Sorry. A lot of times my family will get takeout when we don't feel like cooking, and we'll get the family platter. It serves all 10 of us. It has pulled pork, prime beef brisket, smoked turkey, smoked pork belly, house-made sausage, a third of rack of ribs, smoked chicken wings, and 3 sides, all for $68. That is a bargain you just simply can't beat. On top of that, Costco also sells their gift cards too. So you can get an additional 20% off simply by going to Costco first and buying the gift cards, and you'll be a happy carnivorous camper. Swig and Swine has 2 additional locations outside of Mount Pleasant. The Mount Pleasant one is very north 41, right over the bridge from Wando. So if you live in the Dunes West, Rivertown, Park West, etc. parts of Mount Pleasant, then Swig and Swine won't be too far away. They also have a location in West Ashley off of 17 right near the Whole Foods, as well as in Somerville off of Old Trolley Road. That wraps up the top 10 restaurants in Mount Pleasant. Once again, it was so hard to make this list. There are many places I love that I wasn't able to include. So go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what your favorite places are in Mount Pleasant. If you liked this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first one to know about all things Charleston. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.